Hi, welcome to Schulte Sweeties YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm a mom of 3 girls ages 12, 8, and 6. So I have started kind of a series and so last week I posted a video about middle school science options. If you haven't watched it, I will link it above and down below in the description box. But I just kind of listed off like different options and prices and bundles and things like that, and kind of like if it was religious or non-religious and the style. So I did that with science, and this week I am posting and sharing about history. I really was like, oh, there's probably not going to be very many history options, and I seriously came up with at least 30 again. So this is going to be another long video. Stick with it because there are some ones in this that maybe you don't think of very often, and they're kind of scattered throughout. There are some of the main regular ones that I'm going to list off as well that you will probably be familiar with and maybe even use already. But just stick with the whole video and check out all of them. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and just that would be great in support of our channel. So I have it printed out this week, and I'm gonna look down periodically to figure out which one's next. So the first one is Guest Hollow. You've heard me share about Guest Hollow before. I really love the company. So they definitely have history options for high school that can be adjusted to middle school. They do have a junior geography that can be used through middle school if you didn't want to use a high school version. So they will be releasing a U.S. history for the middle grades, like middle school and upper elementary, I think, and then they'll have one for lower elementary, I believe, as well. I think they're breaking it into 2 different history classes, kind of like they did with their high school classes. Most of their curriculum is right around like anywhere between $30 to $50. I don't know what their new U.S. history will be like what price and everything, but I know it'll be a great option. If you're not familiar with Guest Hollow, they provide like links to videos. They pretty much have done the work, and it's like a buffet. You can choose what you want to use, choose the books that they have listed, but they'll give you a schedule and everything, and they have an online schedule. You can click it and everything. It's a great option. So that is an option for history and geography. Notgrass is one that's pretty familiar with a lot of people. If you order without their book packs, it would be between $100 and $110. Or if you want the book packs given to you, it'd be $191 to $229 is what I found. So they're textbooks. They usually have extras like a timeline book and like workbook and things. And they have like the literature pack, so that would a lot of times can count as like your literature for the year. They have From Adam to Us, America the Beautiful, and Uncle Sam and You, and it is religious. So those are your 3 options for middle school from Notgrass. The next one is Story of the World, and that is probably another one that's familiar to you. $17 for paperback from like their website. You probably could find it cheaper. $9.31 for PDF, or $23 for hardback, and then it'll be an additional cost for like the activity book. There are 4 levels, and then there's options for audiobook or MP3 or a CD. Like the chapters are really short in reading them. We have used it in the past, and even my younger ones can sit through just a couple pages usually when I read it. So that is an option. That's 4 levels that you would just repeat if you wanted to continue on with those. Pandia Press so maybe you're familiar with History Quest, but technically History Quest is labeled as like their elementary level. I think that like it could be used through middle school, but they don't actually label it as middle school. So their middle school and high school options are History Odyssey, and they have that from grades 5 through 12, and it's about $48.99 for PDF or $57.99 for print. Then one of them had a teacher's guide too. I don't know what the difference was. And then they also have a new one called History Compass, and that's $48.99 for the PDF. And that is more of like teaching how to like write and read about history and like kind of being like a historian yourself. So they have 4 levels to use in middle and high school. It's like basically a study guide where they give you suggestions for other books and things, and it is secular. The next one is a religious option, and it's Mystery of History. There's various bundles available. There's like all sorts of options. You can get it with audio or without. I've heard good things about the audio version. So a bundle, like 1 level, including some extras like the audiobook, would be about $150 to $160, around that if you got the bundle. And they have 4 levels as well. I think it's kind of similar to Story of the World, where you could repeat it if you wanted to and kind of go at the next grade, you know, like you're going to learn more as you get older. And so they do have the audiobooks available, and it is religious. Another religious one is Biblo Plan. I've been hearing a lot of great things about that one lately. It's $42.99 for a printed book, $38.95 for the ebook, but then there's various books like workbooks or different things, timelines and different stuff available per level, like depending on what you need for your grade levels. There are 4 levels, even offers a self-paced Zoom course. There's many options, like there's even coloring books and different things available depending on, there is a discount through January for Happy New Year 10. I just came across that as I was on their website this week, and I just wanted to point that out in case you were, it's capital H, capital N, and 10. In case you're watching this still in January, there is a sale. I think it's just 10% off, but it's helpful. Sunlight is one that's pretty popular. It's I don't know a lot about Sunlight because we've never used it, but you would get the guide, and you could get the bundle, and it would be between $450 to $650, I think, if I'm like understanding it all correctly, but it would include history, language arts, and Bible in that. So there are lots of different options for middle school, like world history or U.S. history, and it is religious, but it's gives you all the books and tells you when to read what and things like that. Same as Sunlight, pretty much, except it's non-religious, so Bookshark. Pretty much similar costs and bundle idea, except they don't include the Bible. So it's non-religious and pretty much like lots of different options and things. And you can kind of combine kids together with that if you wanted to do that as well. One that I wasn't as familiar with is Story of Civilization, TAN. So this is a Catholic publishing company, and they have 4 levels. They have ancient, medieval, modern, and US. For a complete set, it is about $169.95. So if you are Catholic and interested in this, or even if you aren't and religion part doesn't matter as much to you, you could check that one out. It was interesting kind of diving into the website and looking around there. Moving beyond the page, they do have like, the unit studies. They're non-religious. For a full package for social studies is around $200 to $336. And that includes the books that you would need. You would read a book and go through the study guide and do the activities and things. But if you were just wanting the curriculum, it could be anywhere between $100 and $170, around there, for just getting the curriculum and then getting your own books and stuff. BJU is pretty well known, BJU Press. So they have some different options. It was kind of tricky on there because they kind of put middle school and high school together. So from what I could see, there were just a couple like, you know, like world history and US history options for middle school. It would be world studies and American Republic. But I said this in my science video, I mentioned them. I never know with some of these companies like what all you would need. So if you're like me, like not sure if you were going to use that, it probably would be best to contact someone or even talk to a veteran homeschooler that has used it before. Like their teacher book was like $92.50 and then their student book was $73, but then they have tons of extras, and I'm like, that could add up if you need all those other things. So you probably don't need all of them, but just they have all those options. So I'm like, I wouldn't know. So the next one that I have listed here is Compass Classroom. So they have, this is a religious company, and they have like a platform where you can get a membership and pay monthly or annually, and you could have access to everything on their website. I have not used a lot of their Compass Classroom curriculum. We have used Word Up with vocabulary. I thought the videos were great. They do often have sales, but what they have available, it's kind of, I think, technically labeled as high school curriculum, but they said like 13 and older could use it, and it could count as like a high school credit if you wanted to. So their American history, they said 13 and older, and then modernity, it would count as 14 and older, they would suggest. So they have 4 free lessons online. Prices could be around $120 or more, depending on if you want the PDF or printed plus the DVD or versus streaming, kind of like they have a lot of different options. But you, like I said, you can sign up for the membership, $45 a month or $450 for the year. And that gives you access to pretty much everything and like the downloads and all that. So that is an option if you were looking into that. They have sales quite often. If I see that they have a sale right now when this video is released, I will list it down below. I am an affiliate with them, so if you use my link, it just helps me a little bit, but I will list all the links down below, and if I know of any sales as well. Generations is a company that I've been hearing more and more about. It's religious as well. So for the middle school options, from what I could tell, like they have like for 7th and 8th grade, you know, I could count 6th grade as well, but for 7th grade is how Jesus built his church. So church history, it seems like $58.99, and then American faith is the next level for 8th grade, and that would be $56.99. So those are some options as well if you're interested in checking out generations. Another one that I was looking into, Simply Charlotte Mason company has history. They have PDF for $18, printed for $25. They're for grades 1 through 12. There's 6 levels, so you can start anywhere and go on and just kind of continue if you wanted to. It includes Bible, history, and geography, and an extra book list. So obviously religious. All of these suggestions have, I did like kind of polls and stuff, like asking in Facebook groups and on my YouTube channel and all sorts of Instagram. And so a lot of these came from various people using them. So, you know, they have like people have actually used these like reviews. So one of these is the OutSchool option to do history through OutSchool, but Courtney Murray was the one that someone suggested. I looked on her schedule and it looked really interesting. She does world history and US history. She does parts 1 and part 2. They're 14 weeks that you would be joining her, you know, for a live session. That's how OutSchool works. It's $11 a week or $145 for all 14 weeks. There's like a full schedule on there. It utilizes the book that she uses, the book Everything You Need to Ace World History in one big notebook. So she kind of goes through that as a guide. And I think she requires them to read like, I think 15 pages a week in preparation for the next or as their homework. So that could be an option if you're kind of looking for like a video, like online live. Sometimes that's easier when instead of like sitting there reading through a whole long textbook constantly. Another newer one to me that I wasn't sure about, this one is free. This is Big History Project. You can just sign up for your own site or for your own login and everything. And then you can have access to all of the history that they have. It is non-religious, so it talks about the Big Bang if that is important to you. Videos and the activities are all planned out in there, and there is like a teacher training to like understand how to do it. It's like, I don't know, it was pretty like hours worth of training if you wanted to go into that. I barely scratched the surface with this website, but it was very interesting kind of like looking around at it, but it is free. Another one that I have heard of and haven't really looked too much into is DriveThru History. Membership, if you want membership, it'd be $119 annually. They have streaming and course guides and Facebook groups for the membership. Or you could just like purchase just one individual course. So you would have access to more things if you got the membership, but then if you just wanted to purchase a course, it would be like between $59 to $90. That includes like the study guide and everything too. I have seen them available in other places too. Like, I think if you purchased them with a premium subscription on Amazon Prime, I think it said with Yippee Kids TV. I don't know, but there are other places that I have seen them. I don't know why I remember that, but you could look and see if you have it streamed too. That wouldn't include like the books and stuff, the study guide. It is Christian as well. It is religious. History Revealed. This is like there are 3 levels. I think it's they have it for grades 5 through 12. Bundles are $170, or the Essentials pack is like $89, so you don't get quite as much. They do have online courses available for $325 live, and it's for 35 weeks for the whole year. Like the person that created this curriculum might do the live classes. I'm not quite sure. So it is a religious curriculum as well, and that's History Revealed. The next one I wanted to point out was Build Your Library. The PDFs, they're all PDFs, and it's $49.95 for them. Build Your Library has some options for middle schoolers. It's $49.95 for the PDFs. You get guide and links to what you should read and lots of book options as well. This is a secular option. We have Beautiful Feet. I have some friends that really love Beautiful Feet. History and geography options, lots of different options there. If you get the guide and the books, you're probably going to spend $200 to $300. But you can kind of customize the pack, like if you don't need some of the books or you just want the guide. So you can kind of adjust that as well. The next one is LearnSees Inc. I did not know much about this at all. So when I checked, there was a sale for classes. I am not sure. These seem to be like classes that you can, I think they're self-paced. I don't believe they're live online classes, but they are self-paced by a teacher. There are lots of different options. There was a sale. So when I was looking at the price, they were closer to $100 to $150, with the main price being like $200 to $300 normally. I don't know like how often they have a sale, or if that's like, showing the sale price always. I don't know. But the online courses are taught by teachers or professors. There's lots of different options for history. I think they have other subjects as well. I thought it was kind of an interesting website, so go check that out as well. I'm assuming, I didn't really see anything about religion in it, so I'm assuming it's probably non-religious. Tapestry of Grace and Ambleside are kind of similar, so I'm kind of going to talk about both of them and together. They're both, I believe, online. They're both free. They have like the schedules and give you like literature options. Tapestry of Grace, it they have like 4 options for history. The website was slightly confusing and didn't seem to like really work great. Like it seemed like when I clicked on something, it didn't really take me to where I thought I should go. But it is free and it's online, it's religious. And then Ambleside, actually they want you to repeat like history like twice. So you're like getting the history covered twice from grades 1 through 12. Free as well, like gives you guides and lets you know what you should work on next. So they're pretty similar, I believe. And Ambleside is like Charlotte Mason style and religious. Woke Homeschool is one that's been gaining popularity. They have O Freedom, and this is a U.S. history from the pre-colonial era where the native nations flourished through the present, where we're grappling with the results of a complicated past. So it's for grades 3 through 7. Non-religious, they do have like a high school level as well, and I think even a little kids one, like K through 2 or something like that. Non-religious, they used to have like some like a Bible aspect in it, but they have taken that out. So this is a non-religious option and could be something that you want to look into. Classical historian, this was one that was brand new to me. I had never heard of this one. I thought it was very interesting as I was looking through it. They have ancients, medieval, and U.S. History. There are usually the ancients and medieval look to be, the bundles were $82.76, and the Story of Liberty, the U.S. one, would be $125.95. So this the two, like ancient and medieval, they use like the Critical Thinking Company. It's like the World Detective history book that you could fill out as like an extra, and then also they have like a game with it. So it's very interesting. The authors are Christian, but they said they don't really think that there's such thing as like Christian history or atheist history, or, you know, like they said, history is history. And, you know, like obviously they are Christian, so they're going to have a little bit of bias and stuff. But the point of what their curriculum does is they want you to have the Socratic discussion and like encourage, they also encourage you to do like a teacher training that they have available. I think it would be an extra cost, but to go through that, to be able to teach this and how it would work properly. So definitely check that out, because I thought, I had never heard it. Maybe you have, but maybe I've been living under a rock, but I thought it was an interesting, different history option. Master Books is one. They specifically list world story, and that has 3 levels through middle school if you wanted to use it then. $61 for the teacher book and the textbook, and then it's about $8 for like a timeline book if you wanted that. They also have a child's geography for like middle school, or for you they sign, so obviously that would be more about U.S. history. Obviously Master Books is a Christian curriculum, but those are your options for Master Books. Gather Round is one that it is unit studies, and they do have a lot of history options. Most of them are like labeled as mini units, so you would need to get quite a few different ones to kind of cover all of the history and stuff, but they have lots of different options. Most PDF bundles are around $40, and that would include all the levels. If you got a PDF print, would be more, and you could kind of pick and choose if you wanted. Some have extras available. I mentioned this before. You know, like you think you're just spending $40, but if you see some of the extras that you want, you're like, oh, I want this and this. Like I don't know, some of their curriculum has like recipe books or notebooking or things like that. So just be aware that there's some other options that you could get, but it might raise the price. Next one is Campfire Curriculum. Similar, it's unit studies, religious based. They don't have a ton of like history options like Gather Round does, but they do have like Titanic and the mysteries that history holds, and then a few others. But also they do include history in their core connections with most of their units. So even if you're not focused on like a historical unit study, you could still add in history there. Another one, this is maybe not as well known, but one of our friends had told us about it, and my daughter has used it one time. And this could be a great option if you just kind of want to check it out. It's called Strange History Classes, and they are kind of like listed on Facebook in like this Facebook group, and she will tell you each week like what she plans to discuss, and she usually gives like 3 or so options for times and dates, and she kind of goes through like a whole like about an hour's worth of like a presentation about that specific subject. My daughter, she did one about Chernobyl because we had talked about Chernobyl, so that could be an option. It is in a Facebook group, and then she will tell you like she'll give you the Zoom information. It's a little tricky to figure out like how to pay her. Usually I think it's like Venmo or PayPal that you pay her. But classes are $6 per class. So if you wanted to do one every week, it would be $6 every week. It was pretty interesting. We've only done one, like I said, but my friend's daughter does them on a regular basis and really enjoys them. So I will link the Facebook group and everything down below so you can check it out. Kronos is another one. It's from the Homeschool Historian. This has kind of been one that's come out, I think, in the last year or so. She is a homeschool mom, and she has gotten her master's in history, I believe. She is a Christian, but does not exclude secular materials and sources because she thinks it's all important to use. If you got the PDF version, it's $30. You can purchase it on her website. They include like vocabulary, links, books, questions to ask, additional resources, all sorts of things. Heart of Dakota is one that like I have heard about for years, but like I've never really looked on their website a whole lot. And so it was kind of interesting to me. They do have some middle school history options, so I thought I would include it. You know, maybe you're interested in Heart of Dakota or used it and like, oh, maybe I should come back to this. 400 or over, maybe 500 for economy packages that include history, but also many other subjects that you're getting. It is religious. I don't know a ton about Heart of Dakota, just know, you know, you can look at the site and just kind of see. I believe it's kind of like some book options and things like that. 5 in a Row is another one that you usually think of, I think, with little kids, but I did see that they do have volumes 6 through 8 that are meant for 10 to 12-year-olds, so middle school options, and they're about $49 each. It says chapter books. There's chapter books that focus on social studies, language arts, science, fine arts, and life skills. So they give you like the chapter book options, and then they kind of go through those, and that's where you learn your history, and like it kind of touches back with the novels. And their volumes 1 through 8 are non-religious in order for people to be able to order them through charters. So like their little kids ones do have religious material in them, but their upper levels do not. A couple newer ones that maybe you've heard of and not checked out, or maybe you know. I would love to hear if you actually use these, because I don't really know a lot about them. But Truth Quest is one. I remember, I think Leilani has used them before. I will link a video down below if I find one of her talking about Truth Quest. I believe she has used them. It is $23.95 for the PDF or $29.95 for the paperback. And plus there's like additional resources, kind of like Biblo Plan, where they have like other resources that you could get. There are 8 levels, and it said, like, when I was looking at the schedule, ideally you would start in 5th grade with like the beginnings level and then go through all of those 8 levels through 12th grade. But even if you start later on, like they really suggest you try to start with the beginnings level to get a solid basis. Is a religious option, and it does like include a lot of biblical history as well. Winter Promise is another one. This is like their digital studies. Like some can be for like 9 weeks. Some can be for a year, some are 6 weeks. It's kind of like they have lots of different options. Like you can do a unit study, you can do like a full year. So the cost kind of varies on there. There's $50, $20, $29. And then some of them that I was reading, like some of the like upper levels, there are themed units for some history. They have some science in there. And there could be around $129 starting. The bundle starts at $129, but you would add in some other things, so it might be a little more. They do have print option. Obviously, that's going to cost more. They have a variety of unit studies like ancient Rome, Civil War, gladiators. Those were the smaller unit studies. And then the bigger themed ones would be like a full year. One that I was looking at was royals and revolutions. They have different timelines and things that you could look. Bible is included in many of these, like integrated in it. It is a Charlotte Mason inspired curriculum. Some of it is like hands-on and it's interesting. And then we have Layers of Learning as another one. They are 2 homeschool moms that created this curriculum. I believe it is non-religious. They have also added in, they have their old curriculum that they made years ago. Like they've been creating this for a long time now. And they are unit studies, and they do have that available still, but they are going through and creating like a new Layers of Learning. So they're still working on it, I believe. But they have ancient, middle, colonial, and then they're currently working on modern, and then they'll have US and Canadian coming for history. So when you would get like the PDF bundle, and it would be about $44.99 for like history if you wanted to focus on history. But they also have like art or science, and I can't remember what else they have available, but you could look at that. They do have like a writer's workshop as well. Units can be used for ages 6 through 18, so pretty much every grade. So that is my long spiel today, where I have given you over 30 options of history for middle schoolers. I hope that this was helpful. Let me know what you have used, what has worked, what has not worked for you all. I'm excited to make some choices from all this research when I go on these websites. I enjoy like looking around and finding new things as well. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my future videos. I will have math coming and language arts coming for middle schoolers. So I hope that you will join me again. Have a great day.